Still don't see a thing, man. Okay, can y'all see me now? Jesus Christ. Okay, man. Jesus Christ, man. I'm telling y'all, man. This YouTube and this XSplit shit is for the birds. My goodness. Man, I didn't think I'd ever get this thing started, man. So wow. Alright, here we go. Okay, so it's saying that that's going. Cool. Man, y'all, this is hard. Alright, here we go. So everybody good, y'all can see me and all that good stuff, right? We broadcasting, I'm good. Let me double check here. Yes, okay. I can see it over here. Alright, cool. What's going on, people? Your boy is back in the house again. Man, it took some finagling, and it ain't that this stuff is hard. I just don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I think I got it going now, so we can at least get through this here broadcast on tonight. So let me get back to what I was originally trying to do, and let's get it cracking over here on, yeah, because I wanted to like get the stream started just so we can start, you know, giving people some time to get in, because, you know, it's only about 105 people on this channel that subscribe. So, hey, I wanted to give the people some time to come around and check it out. Alright, so let me finish sending out this here. Teach you how to do the backgrounds, man. Chris, I can do that, brother. I could do that, man. I have been trying to do it for the longest time, but due to my equipment, I wasn't able to get it done. But once I got my new computer and stuff, man, it was all good, brother. So yeah, I will definitely show you that, man. You just let me know when you got some time, man, and we'll figure it out, brother. Yes, sir. Now I'm gonna tell you, man, the cat who really cold with this, with these layouts, is DJ Just J, but he got the old ancient Chinese secret going on and ain't showing nobody what's happening. So y'all need to holler at DJ, cause he got all the fancy stuff that goes around the sides and the studio lights and all. He got all that fancy stuff on there, man. So I'm really trying to learn from him as I'm learning. So hey, man, but I teach you what I know, brother. That ain't no problem at all. So let me give a shout out to the few people that's here, cause I got to appreciate everybody. Athena's World, what's happening? Thanks for coming out. Lowa, is that, you know what I always wonder, like, is that laugh out loud Woma? Is it Lowa Ma, or is it just LOL? I don't know. Correct me and get me on the path of righteousness. Mr. Breadman, what's happening, Captain? Let's see who else. My man Chris Thorns, of course, and Teresa Radigan. What's happening? My boy Clive Dog, man, I haven't seen you in a while. Clive, where you been, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To the show, hit me up. Okay. Yeah, let's see how that goes. And I got a couple more places to send this to, and then we can get it going, good people. Yep. Yeah. Send that to my peoples there. So so they'll know that I'm doing my thug thizzle. And let's see who else. I think it's just a couple of more pages that I got to send this out to. Yep, send it here to these guys. But basically what I wanted to do, I was thinking about the channel and thinking about the ways to, you know, build the channel and to present content. That's what I was really like thinking on today. And so what I did was I came up with an idea. And I don't know if you guys are gonna like it or not, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to start a series of what I call to shoot or not to shoot. And basically what that is going to be about is going to be me talking about the different shootings that we have, you know, and just seeing, you know, critiquing them if it was a clean shoot in my opinion or in our opinion, or if it wasn't, whatever the case may be, and just talk about the different dynamics of having officer involved shootings, or even, you know, if we find something where it's, you know, just some regular citizens shooting, you know what I'm saying? I think we can talk about those too. So if you got some of those, definitely send them my way. You can hit me in the email to UGOA1791@gmail.com, and we can go from there. I can look at the videos there. I can pull the videos down. If it's something on Facebook, just shoot me at the Facebook. You can hit me at the relationship rehab page, or hit me on my Facebook, whatever the case may be, if you are my friend. But yeah, I definitely wanted to start doing that because I figured that would be a way, because I got some other stuff coming too. Just finished one of my review videos, and I actually did a Pelican case. So that video is actually being edited as we speak. And once my buddy Mike P, shout out to my man Mike Petrangelo, once he gets it done, he will send it to me and I will upload it, and then you guys can see that. I really like the video. I know he's gonna do an amazing job with the editing, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that, man. I think that's gonna be good for the channel. Other than that, I do really want you guys to, man, make sure you're sharing this out so we can get some subscribers and all that good stuff, and just hit the like. If nothing else, click the like. Click the like. Alright, I think I got it to everybody that I can get it to. Oh wait, I do got one other person over here that I can put this in. Yep, sure can. Send it to you. And where is that other one? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we good to go. So basically what I'm gonna do is we're gonna talk about this officer involved shooting, and what you're gonna see, well actually, oh, I forgot to do this. I need to go live on Facebook. That was one of the purposes of actually doing this here. New live, and we're gonna do, hold up, wait. Yeah. Shoot or not to shoot. Here's the question. Nope, I need to just do a, yep, and then it should give me that, and then I should just be able to see, it's not changing it though. Well, I guess it would. Ah, there we go. That's what I need. Okay. Boom. Then I can do that there. Cool. And all right, cool. There we go. Alrighty, we are rolling. New live Facebook start. Yeah, there we go. Alright, good people. So now we're ready to rock and roll. So with these videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just basically go over the video. It's about the one where the guy who was actually running, he was the father, I think they said, of 2. You'll see that. But I think the video was quite interesting because of the dynamics of it and what happened with the shooting. A lot of people are in an uproar about it. You know, they got the people crying, talking about he'll never come home again, he won't see his kids and all that. And at the end of the day, I believe that for the most part, any shooting is tragic, especially when it's one that didn't have to occur. But I also believe that we have a lot of circumstances and responsibility on both sides of the equation, the law enforcement side and the citizen side, that we have to look at, and we have to start taking notes on to say, hey, let's stop doing this and let's start doing that, and let's continue to do this. So if you want to do like a start, stop, and continue type of thing with this, we can absolutely do that as well. But I definitely wanted to go over this just to point out a few things about it, because I think that it's really, really important for us to look at what it is that we're doing. I believe that there is a black and white type of thing that's always put on law enforcement officer shootings, and I don't think that's always the case. It's a fact that there are more white people that get shot by police than black. That's a fact. So it's not a thing of just race, but I do think that stereotypes and certain aspects of racism do occur in shootings, which cause for shootings to be excessive, which cause for shootings to be even necessary. I definitely believe that. So there is a lot of work I believe that needs to be done on both sides. So I want us to look at the video, and I want to get your feedback, get your opinions on it, and you guys let me know what you think. And like I said, if you're watching this on Facebook, go to the YouTube page, go to the YouTube channel. You can click the link that's there, subscribe to the channel, and that'll take you to the chat room where you can actually like type and like message me right now in the moment, because I got the Facebook going, but I am not looking at that. I am actually looking at YouTube. So if you are watching it on Facebook, I would suggest to go over to the YouTube side of the game, and if you got any questions or anything like that, then you can definitely just hit me from there, and I can definitely try to answer those questions as best as I possibly can. So let's dive in. And first things first, what I'm gonna do is turn this guy off. And basically what I'm about to show you, well, we can do this one first. So I have, well, no, let me break it down like this. So I got 2 clips. I have the actual aerial video, which is from the helicopter, and then I also have the clip from the body cam of the officer. And let me say this. This is, first and foremost, this video is used by way of fair use. I am using this video for educational and critiquing purposes, which is under my right. Federal law allows me to do this. So this video is being replayed as through fair use, the Fair Use Act. So we should be good with that. Fair use, nigga. Fair use. Fair use. All right. So here we go. So what I'm going to show you first is the actual, let's do the helicopter video first. So this is going to be the air support video. And basically what that's going to do is that's going to just give you an overall view of what happened. It's going to show you the infrared, as you can see here, which is like if some of y'all have played Call of Duty or something, when you're in that AC 130 and you shooting down them 105 shells, boy, out that AC, boy, that AC 130, Jack. If y'all ever played that Call of Duty, you know what I'm talking about. That AC 130, when you got the 105 shells going down and you seeing them guys running and scattering just like that, it don't get no better. That's one of the favorite parts of that game, boy, is playing that. I think that was Call of Duty. They did it in Call of Duty, was that 3 or 4? Or maybe even been Call of Duty 2. I don't know, but I love that part. But here we go. So I want us to just take a look at this, see what's happening, and just basically try to follow and see how the video went. Now, the video is not that long, so you can definitely just let me know what you guys think. So here we go. So that's actually the dude right there that's running. Why he's running, I have no clue.
But he's one house to the south right now, gonna run. Okay, he's running towards the front yard.
Yep.
All I can tell is he's got a hoodie on. He's running towards the front yard of 29th Street. 29th Street. He's looking into another car that's in between the fence and the front yard. Started running his scratch. It looks like might be getting one at gunpoint. Copy, one at gunpoint. Okay, let's get a perimeter on this. Guy's running south. He's going to hit this field. He's at one further house to one yard to the south. 2 minutes trying to catch him. Hi, Cornelia, go ahead. Shots fired, shots fired.
Alright, so now as you coming around, you can see, well, let me get this up here. So you can see that the guy's already been shot. Let me take that back one more again. Yeah, that's it right there. So now he's back there, and you can see the shots fired. The man goes down. You can see the other shots, them little sparks or whatever. Those are actual bullets ricocheting off of whatever. And you can see him down. So that's pretty much what has happened, to where the police been looking for this dude, essentially because of gotten the calls about some break-ins and some vehicles and stuff have been occurring in the area. They say somebody saw a guy, whatever. They're out in the neighborhood, canvassing the area, looking for this dude. They see this guy. He starts running, hitting some backyards or whatever. They finally like catch up to him in this backyard, and pretty much what you see is what happens. So let's actually see the body cam from the police. All right, now this one's a little bit longer, so I'm gonna try to just navigate through this a little quicker and see, because it's like they're showing like him in the car. And if you pay attention to this video, the tone of the video, you can see like, and that's one of the good things about these cameras. Those body cameras really do show like what the lighting is like, because it is dark like that in neighborhoods when you're out this late at night. So it's very hard to see. You do have lights on your weapons. You do have, you know, or you carrying a flashlight. Most police officers nowadays, they actually carry them on their firearms. So let's see here. So they don't know where this dude is at as of right now. And they're actually starting to look for this guy. Air support is not there yet, to my knowledge, because they don't really get a bead on this guy until some minutes later. So they're really just like flashing this light around trying to find this guy, and they don't see him.
I complained last saw the guy jump the fence here at 7566. We are unaware if he went anywhere else from there.
So let me see if I can move this up a little bit. Yeah, this is them still canvassing the area. They still walking around.
Go check it.
And then this is them. Yep. So they're like now going through yards looking. And as you can see how hard it is to see
I got this corner
with this light.
fan that way real quick. I'll hold the shed. He didn't come this way, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
This corner. Oh, are you serious? Crap.
So you can see this guy. They still looking for him. Let me actually, I can probably speed this up a little bit. So I think now they might have some air support. I think that's what I'm hearing. So, and if you pay attention, like if you see like when that light, yeah, they got air support now because there's a chopper. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper now. Do it. Do it. So they got the chopper out there now. And the chopper's like looking for this guy. And then he's going to get a bead on him. And what you don't hear is you don't hear him telling him. The chopper's telling him. So now they caught up with him.
Show me your hands, gun! Show me your hands, gun! 5-7, shots fired, Sensei, down. Show me your hands! Let's see your hands!
Ooh, that's loud.
5-7, he's down. No movement. We're going to need additional units. Come in from the west to east of the yard. Let's see your hands! You alright? You hit? Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
He was still pointing when I saw again. You alright, dude? Yeah, I'm alright. I don't think I'm hit or anything. I got him at gunpoint, dude. You do a tactical reload, okay? I think I shot about 5 times.
Alright, so let's see that one more time. There's a chopper. The choppers picked him up. So that's a good. I see the statement that you made, Athena, and I'm gonna address that.
Shots fired, Sensei, down. Show me your hands! Let's see your hands!
Okay.
5-7, he's down. No movement.
So let me say this right now. Number one, first and foremost, what we're doing is we're doing Monday morning quarterbacking at this situation, which is okay. It's fine to do that. However, you do have to take into account, number one, what the totality of the circumstances that are going on. So first and foremost, when you're talking about a person that is committing robberies, if you are investigating a robbery, a possible robbery that's actually happening right now, a robbery in progress, if you're investigating that, most thieves, most robbers always have a weapon on them of some sort, just what they call a just-in-case weapon. So people that break into houses, they don't break into houses and just only have a good old trusty screwdriver just to pick the lock and they in. Most people that commit crimes like this, when they are stealing things, whether it's breaking and entering, whatever the case may be, they usually have some form of weapon on them. So whether if it's a knife, a screwdriver, a gun, a bazooka, a rocket, it doesn't matter. These people are out here breaking the law and they have some type of weapon on them. All right. The other part to that is, if this guy was totally innocent, why is he running? Which we don't know yet. I don't have any info. I don't have that information, but that is a question that I must raise. Why is this guy running? Because if you ain't got nothing to hide, you ain't got no record, you ain't got no warrants, you ain't did nothing wrong, there's no reason for you to run. Okay, so therefore that's the other thing. Now, you talking about the cameras and the cameras aren't showing their actual eyesight. You are correct. But the thing is that it is dark outside. And the fact that it is dark, there are a lot of things that you cannot define, like if somebody has a gun in their hand or not. That is something that you can't determine that. And you look at how far those guys were away from him. That's at least at least 15 to 20 feet away. I can't see what's in your hand at what time of night is this? Is that 4 in the morning? Is that what that time says on there? At 4 in the morning, I can't see what's in your hand to determine if it's a gun or a cell phone. You can't see that. There's no way that you can see that. So you have to take that into account, because these police officers, they don't know jack shit about this guy that's running. All they know is we have a potential criminal running from us, who we are in pursuit of. And they are telling him, let me see your hands. They're telling him to stop. So obviously, if he is still running and he is not adhering to any of their commands, I'm going to assume that this is a bad guy and this guy has some intention of not cooperating with the police. He does not intend on cooperating. With that being said, now you have to take into account the fact of saying, is this guy going to shoot me? Does he have a weapon to shoot me? Is he not hearing me? I don't know what the case is, but I do know I am not going to give him an opportunity to do that to me, because it literally takes a fraction of a second for somebody to get a gun off, especially if he already has it in his hand. Now, you're talking about a police officer who has to unholster his weapon and then place. Yeah, but you're talking about a guy who, like I said, may be running with his phone in his hand. And if he's running with a phone in his hand and you telling me it's dark outside and I do this, how can you not see it? Or if I do this, or whatever the case may be, you shouldn't have the phone in your hand because it resembles a gun. This is not the first time we've heard this. This is not the first time that this has happened. This is not the first instance where somebody has been shot because they had their keys in their hand, they had a can of mace in their hand, they had a cell phone in their hand, or whatever the case may be. If you are going to comply with the police and they tell you, let me see your hands, first thing you should do is throw your hands up. Why? Because the palm of your hands, no matter how black or white you are, they can be seen easily when they're like this. If them hands are up and they're moving and I see, all I'm going to see is something black in that hand, which I'm going to anticipate as being a gun. I'm not going to hope that this guy's carrying a cell phone and then see if I'm putting my life and my ass on the line. No way. No way possible. There was no reason for that dude to, first of all, well, we don't know yet, but him running and him not adhering to those commands. Because if he had nothing to hide, police say, stop, let me see your hands. Stop, let me see your hands. Now, somebody's looking at this right now and they're saying, well, police shoot people with their hands up too. Has happened before, absolutely. But it don't happen as often as that. Running with a cell phone, running with whatever you had that dude had in his hand, it possibly could have been a gun. And not to mention, how many times has there been shootings where the dude did have a gun? We don't want to count that and talk about that though. We don't want to talk about the guy who got the gun stuffed in his pants and he trying to get it out as he running and then he turned around. We don't talk about that guy. And I know that video is out there. I'm going to actually do that video too. But my point is this. It is literally a fraction of a second that you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. In this instance, with just the circumstances that we see right now, I got a possible suspect that is fleeing. I got a criminal that is possibly fleeing. He could very possibly have a weapon, because most criminals do. In this instance, that are breaking and entering and robbing people, most of them do. So the fact that that's what I'm having, that's what I'm thinking about, I'm going to have that in my mind. Second of all, once I give this dude some commands to stop, show me his hands, he doesn't comply. Most bad guys do that. Just saying. Everybody that's thinking about this as a black-white thing, most bad guys do that. Most bad guys do not comply to law enforcement officer commands. Stop, let me see your hands. What you want to see my hands for? You see? Hey, sir, can you step out of the car? Why I got to get out the car for? Because your tail light is busted and you're not supposed to be driving like that. Can you please step out of the car? Do you have any weapons on you? Nope, I ain't got no weapons, and got an AK on the seat. Oh, I don't know whose that is. You have to realize that at the end of the day, most of law enforcement officers have the guys that they do lock up that you don't see the video in. where they do lie about having guns. They do lie about having weapons. They do lie about having drugs. And it's not until you actually pat them down to where you find it. I can attest to that. Sir, do you have any drugs or anything in the vehicle? Nope. Can I search the vehicle? Yeah, you sure can. Sir, this is marijuana. Oh, yeah, I forgot I had that. Come on, man. Seriously? That's the thing that law enforcement officers deal with on the regular. So when you have a consistent scenario of that happening, you are supposed to anticipate the worst because that's what you're going to be in. That's the situation. You are more likely to find somebody to tell you that they don't have a gun and they actually do than you're going to find somebody who say, yeah, I don't have no gun, sir, I'm good. And then they don't. Especially depending on the area that you're working in. So that definitely a high crime area is going to have a lot of criminals. It's going to have a lot of people that commit crimes. That's why they call it a high crime area. Not saying that this was, but I'm just giving you the examples of saying you have to look at what somebody is going through on a day-to-day basis. And you have to look at the totality of the circumstances with each individual call to truly make a fair decision or not. Now, do I think they needed to put 20 rounds on this dude? Hell to the no. Reason why I say that is because they had cover. Not concealment. They had cover. And if those dudes thought that he had a gun and they thought that this dude was going to shoot or unload on them, that's why they had cover and they leaned around and they fired. Did they need to throw 20 rounds down range? I mean, down at that dude? Absolutely not. The reason why most people do it is because the adrenaline is pumping. You have those blinders are on. You lose a sense of detail. Though your fine motor skills and all of that kind of stuff, you get tunnel vision. And what it is that they let off that many rounds and they don't think they did. And I believe if you listen to the video, the guy only thought he may have let off like maybe 5 rounds or something like that when he didn't. They let off like 10, or they let off probably about 10 apiece is what it actually sounded like. But you don't realize that because you are in that state of a heightened, what do they call that? The anxiety, the panic, whatever you want to call it, the adrenaline is pumping and you lose that attention to detail because of that. So that's why you see shootings like that. Now, when you have those, there are some extreme cases where you have guys like that guy, I think in New York, that had like 30 rounds pumped into him. That was just unbelievable. It was 30 or 60 rounds or 50 rounds or something like that, where it was like 5 guys who like unloaded on this dude. That kind of stuff, that is definitely extreme. Those are people just wanting to get their gun off because they've been thinking about shooting not just necessarily a black dude, but been shooting, I want to shoot somebody. And when I do, I'm going to let them have it. And that's why they do that. If you don't have that much, if you don't have enough self-control to, I mean, shooting off 17 rounds, that's a long time, man. Very long time. Shooting off maybe 3 or 4, yeah, I can get that. 5 or 6, okay. One person, 5 or 6, and it's 2 of y'all, that's a bit much. When you going 10 a piece, that is excessive. It is. And I'm saying it's excessive to the point to where it was like maybe about 4 or 5 more rounds that they didn't have to shoot at this dude that they did. And they didn't have any type of return fire. Now, if that dude had return fire, then game on. You send them rounds so that body stop moving, that's it. The other part to that too was now, and this happens in most shootings, once you shoot this person, you see that this person clearly is not moving, and you see this person laying there, and now you steady giving them the commands to put their hands behind their back, let me see your hands, and you are sitting there doing this repeatedly. And I think that is, you're trying to secure the situation, but if you put that many rounds on somebody and they're not moving no more, you can easily say, hey, look, we need to look to see if this guy, if I can see the gun now, because he ain't moving. And it went like at least about another 4 or 5 minutes easy before they even like begin to approach this guy. Because the video is like 17 minutes long. And you can see that guy, he actually, I mean, they're like waiting for Sarge to come on the scene. They're waiting for some type of shield or something like that so they can approach this dude. When you know this dude is dead. You don't put that many rounds on this dude. He's not moving anymore. He's not sitting there waiting with his cell phone or his gun to get one more shot off. So you have to approach with caution, and I get that. But with that many rounds on somebody and their body is clearly not moving after 1 to 2 minutes, they dead, man. It's just that simple. And I mean, or they're near death. And if you want to wait it out and let him die out or whatever before you go, because he might have some last minute reflex or whatever, that to me is BS. But you want to be safe in that situation. So I get that. They let them bleed out. That could very well be the case. You don't want nobody else testifying against you or whatever the case may be. Let them bleed out. Hey, that's debatable. I don't think that's the case, but it's debatable. Because at the end of the day, you steady giving commands to somebody that's not responding. What are you gonna do? If you walked up to a guy and saw him laying in the street as a police officer, and that guy's not breathing, that guy's not responding to any of your commands, you are going to approach him. You're not gonna sit there and call your sergeant. You're going to approach him at the end of the day. And then they were even talking about that's what it was. They wanted to shoot this dude again with some non-lethal rounds to actually see if he was alive or dead. And this is where that part is stupid. If I shoot you and I done let off at least an average, a ballpark of 8 to 20 rounds, and you ain't hollering and screaming, you're dead. There is nobody who can take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bullets and not make a sound. I don't know of a person. There is no person in existence. If it is, they must be some type of metahuman. They're some type of superhero, whatever the case may be. You can't take that many rounds and not just have that many rounds thrown at you in such a close range and not make a sound. Not even a moan or a groan. Nothing. Not a goddamn nothing. And if you just laying there and you don't hit, the dude is dead or he's incapacitated to the point to where you can't approach him. And I think that's the point to where you should be able to say, well, hey, let's see if we can get some medical attention to this guy. Let's see if we can verify if this is a gun or not, if this is a grenade, a gun, or rocket launcher, whatever the case may be, a cell phone. We can verify that now. So I think that's one of the biggest things that they have an opportunity with. The other thing about that is that when you have these type of shootings and you have people that don't respond to your commands, it should make you leery. It should make you scared. It should make you put you on a heightened sense of alert or whatever the case, whatever you want to call it. If I'm giving somebody some direct commands, loud and clear, and they're not adhering to them, I'm going to think that either this person has no intention of complying, this person is high off of something, and that's why he's not complying. Either one of those, it makes them very dangerous. And it makes them dangerous to the point where my life can be in danger. Because if this guy decides to let everything go left, then that's my ass that's on the line. And at the end of the day, with 98% of the officers out there, most of them are thinking one thing: I want to make it home. Plain and simple. I'm not going to let some dude that ain't thinking clear, some dude that got a fucking warrant and don't want to go back to jail for some shit that he or she done already did, and they just didn't go to court, to now say they just going to bang out and just shoot their way, top of the world. That's it, ma, I'm out of here, and I'll be the one that go home because he doing or she doing some dumb shit. No way. You can't expect somebody to be that agreeable or to try to figure out that much. And that's one of the biggest things about officer-involved shootings that I don't like, is that people try to Monday morning quarterback this thing and say, oh, well, he could have did or she could have did this and she could have did that. And the greater majority of the time, in that situation that they're in and what it is that they're up against, when you look at the total circumstances of that, more than likely it's a good shoot. And at the end of the day, with this particular shooting, I'm going to say that was a clean shoot. That dude had plenty of opportunity to stop running. He had plenty of opportunity to put his hands up, and he did not. And for whatever reason he was running from the police, trying to get away, trying to outsmart or whatever it was, you don't do that shit with a cell phone in your hand. And unfortunately, what happened was that somebody lost their life. And you can say that that's what he died for, over a cell phone. Nope, that's not what he died over. He died because he didn't comply with the police commands. And at the end of the day, they perceived him to have a gun. And that's why they shot him. And you can look at that 7 ways to Sunday, and ain't not a court of law gonna convict them to say that they was wrong for doing that. because that dude, like I said, was in a situation to where he wasn't compliant and he was putting their lives in danger and even other people's lives. Because if you turn this whole scenario around and change one simple thing, what if that cell phone was a gun? Could he have shot at those officers? Yes. Could he have shot those officers? Yes. Could he have shot at those officers and shot somebody else? The dude is in somebody else's backyard. Bullets travel through walls. So at the end of the day, those type of things you have to take into account for. And some little girl or some little boy sleep in their bed, playing their video game, watching whatever the videos that's out, to lose their life over something stupid like that, it's not worth it. And absolutely, if a person is in that situation, they damn sure should have to suffer the consequences of losing their life when they're putting so many other lives in jeopardy. It's just that simple. So you have to be able to look at things and I'm all for critiquing things. I don't mind doing the Monday morning quarterback like we doing, looking at the game and saying, well, we could have did this and did that, thrown it here, thrown it there. Absolutely, you should do that. Because there's always an opportunity to make things better. There's always an opportunity to do things a different way so that you don't have these outcomes. So I definitely get that. But like I said, in this instance, I would definitely say that. One other thing that I do want to say is I have another video. And this video, I saw this and I wanted to get you guys' opinions on this and see what you thought about it. So let's take a look at this. Now this is some British dude, and it's fair use as well. Some British dude is talking about this, and I want you guys to peep this. And when I looked at it, I said, wow, this is definitely something that's very, very, very thought-provoking. Check it out.
What I can tell you, having listened to that recording, he does not at all mention anything about terrorism, nor does he mention anything about hate. It is the outcry of a very challenged young man talking about challenges in his personal life.
Alright, this shit is ridiculous. No angel, thug, combative, career criminal, disrespectful. Were these terms used to describe evil white criminals who massacred their fellow Americans, or were these terms used to describe unarmed black men and children who were killed at the hands of police? Wait, hold on, what about these terms? Troubled child, nerdy, quiet boy, unemployed kid, clean-cut American, boy with dry-witted humor. So what about those terms? Were they used to describe white terrorists or black victims? The answer is, of course you already know what the fucking answer is, because this is the United States of America, the only country in the world where you can carry out 5 explosions, killing 2 people, and still be given the benefit of the doubt and depicted in a sympathetic light. As long as you're white, of course. But if you happen to be black and have your life taken unjustly, you will be scrutinized, vilified, and have your name dragged through the dirt. It has been nearly 48 hours since Mark Condit blew himself up after being tracked down by law enforcement, and, as we have come to expect in this country, the humanization of a man who blew 2 black Americans to pieces has been gut-churningly despicable. From law enforcement choosing to highlight
challenged young man
to a full New York Times article portraying the Austin bomber as a quiet, nerdy, godly young man, we have seen whiteness at work on steroids. And not only that, some conservative mouthpieces, take a wild guess who, took to Twitter to give the voice to the real victims in this act of terror. Wait for it, Christians. That's right, our resident hypocrite Tammy made sure to skip her usual thoughts and prayers for the actual victims who died at the hands of this monster, and instead posted an article discussing how Christianity was the real victim. This coming from the same person who has built a career fear-mongering against all Muslims whenever an Islamist extremist commits an act of terror. But this all falls in line with the same deflecting, humanizing and downplaying of the evil actions of a troubled young man. A troubled young white man, that is. So I ask, where was the stern defense of a young man like Trayvon Martin, who, by the way, did not try to blow anyone up? In fact, all he wanted to do was walk home. But God forbid he put his hood up, right? For that, he was lambasted as a disrespectful thug by many of those in the media, who then offered an actual terrorist a pass. I can't believe this has to be clarified. But I guess we'll save the best juxtaposition for last, shall we? It so happened that on the same day a white suicide bomber decided to take his own life, 2 Sacramento police officers opted to take the life of 22-year-old Stephen Clarke. firing a mere 20 shots at him in his own grandmother's backyard. Cops said they mistook Clarke's cell phone for a gun, and then later a crowbar. I mean, I'm no tech expert here, but I've never seen a crowbar that looks even remotely like an iPhone, have you? But nonetheless, having both these stories circulate at the same time was a perfect example of whiteness at work. On the one hand, we had headlines reading, "Robbery suspect gunned down," and on the other hand, we heard, "Nerdy young man." Wake up! The way this country continues to humanize white evil and vilify black victims shows how far we have to go in not only fixing the engraved racial bias that still dictates the perception of people in this country and in the media, but in truly understanding the threat white terror poses to us. And to do that, we have to condemn it with the same furiosity it deserves, not wrap it in privilege. Follow me on Instagram at Francis M. Maxwell and on Twitter at Francis M. Maxwell. Please like and share.
Okay, so I don't know what you guys thought about that. Please be sure to post that up. Okay, MG, I see what you're talking about. Let's yeah, send me that video. That's what's up. What's going on, Eric? How you feeling, brother? So, with that thing that you just saw, here's my problem with this. I think that here's what I don't like. I don't like the just blatant exaggeration from both sides. Because I think that he was making a great point when he was talking about how they don't call the terrorist acts that white people or black people, for that matter, do in this country, how they don't call them terrorists. How they called him a nerdy type of guy, because he's a nerdy Christian type of guy. That's bullshit. They definitely paint them in a different light. And then they'll turn around and say, hey, this person, this black kid was a criminal. He smoked marijuana and he was known. And that's not, there's no way, shape, form, or fashion was that any type of truth to it. The other thing was that if you heard what he said, this other guy who was running, which is the guy that we were just talking about in that video, was the last guy he was talking about. He was just trying to get into the back of his grandmother's house, and he lost his life. So he just left out all of that shit about running, the police telling him to stop and him not stopping, him running, trying to get into the back of his grandmama's house. Who go into the back of their grandmama's house from the patio who does that? Yeah, I'm going to walk past this front door and I'm going to go all the way back around and I'm going to go in through the back sliding door patio. Come on, man. That is what I'm talking about as far as just how the media spins shit to make it extreme. And I think the biggest problem with that and what it does, because everybody has their opinions, everybody has their perception and their point of view, but when it comes to just the media, I believe you have to have a certain responsibility to say, well, hey, this is what I'm talking about, but I need to just present the facts, and those things that I don't know, even if I comment on them, I still need to preface that. I need to let people know that what I'm saying is not just the gospel truth, and the only thing that I'm talking about that is actually factual, I will state that. My opinion is just that. And just like he said, that guy was not some kid, some grown man coming home from a hard day's work trying to get home to his kids, his wife and kids, and got shot in the back of his grandmama's house. And that's the picture he painted. And that's not fair. It's not fair to the police that were involved. It's not fair to those people, the community activists that will get up, take off work from their job, take off from their jobs to go protest, and everybody else talking about, see, this is what white people do to us. It's not fair to those people. Because what they do is you're putting this idea of what you think happened, because it makes the story so much more tragic. It makes the story so much more exciting. It makes it salacious or whatever else you want to call it. And all you're doing is just perpetuating the divide. You're not doing anything but making it seem like, hey, white people are against black people and black people need to stand up and we need to fight the power because they killing us. When in all actuality, is more Pookies and Ray Rays killing Pookies and Ray Rays than it is Officer Friendly shooting down the brothers that's running home to get to their grandmama's house, Little Red Riding Hood style. Right. I'm just saying. And if you look at what we really should be concerned about, the things we should really be, furious about, is when people do that. Why aren't we pissed off when people get on the news or people make commentaries and it's not factual to say, well, hey, you didn't have all the facts when you said this. This is what really happened, but you putting it out there and you saying this. Okay, just like what I said. when I was talking about the guy, I said, I don't know why he's running. But what will the media do? They'll portray it as though he was fleeing and he had a crowbar. How the fuck did he have a crowbar? Don't nobody know that. And if he did and he dropped it, he don't have it no more. So what's your point? And even if he was walking down the street with a crowbar, if you didn't see him commit that crime, there's no way you can say, oh yeah, he did it. He could be a suspect. He could be somebody, a person of interest. But you can't make him guilty just because you see him with something that you perceive to be something. Oh, he shouldn't have that. It's just that simple. We have to be more responsible with our words, with our commentary, with everything that we put out there. And I believe that the media is the biggest culprit of that. The mainstream media. They're the biggest culprits of that. They say half-truths. They say shit that they think sound good. They say shit that they, oh, well, yeah, this will make it more exciting. And they put that shit out there in the world, and people get this one-track mind. You get this one thing in your head, now you just repeating it, and you putting it on Facebook, you putting it on your Instagram about how all this shit they doing is wrong. Because we just let the media, whatever the media says, we taking it, we gone. If it's on CNN, if it's on Fox, if it's on MSNBC, it's the truth. And I think we have to be better than that. We have to be more responsible with that. We have to start going to that extra mile to say, hey, this ain't what happened. Damn it. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. What's that movie, Concussion? You got to tell the truth. Tell the truth. You heard Will Smith say, that was about Will Smith. I like you. You my man on Bad Boys. I loved you. But that damn Concussion was not award worthy. It was not. So stop it. It was a bad movie, man. And it was just bad. But tell the truth. That's all I'm saying. Tell the truth. And if you don't know the truth, say I don't know the truth. I don't know it, but I'm still going to give my opinion. That's just what it is. It is an opinion of what I thought it was. I'm not going to say that this is fact when I don't know the facts. That was my Wakandan African voice, I guess. Yeah. But the whole thing is to play on emotions. If they say that it is a certain way, people will react that way. Black folk don't care about facts. All we care about is the fact that we done wrong. It's the fact that we done wrong. That is 100% true. It's like, and when you look at that dynamic, to say, here's why I get upset when I see us do that. We turn around and we ask for justice. We ask for fair treatment. We ask for equal rights. We ask for all of these things to just be treated the same as everyone else. We want the same rights and privileges that everyone else is afforded in this country. We don't want to be marginalized, and we don't want to be oppressed. However, we turn around and everything that we do as in just generally speaking, it's based off of how we feel. It's our emotions. It's based off of what we think we feel about this situation, if it's right or if it's wrong. We don't ever want to make decisions and do things based on emotions. Because when you do that, you miss things like policies, laws, facts, logic. You throw all that out the window. And when you do that, you literally handicap yourself. You put yourself at such a disadvantage as to where you are not effective. Hence, and I may get some people that's going to be mad about this, Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter don't do shit for nobody. It doesn't. And here's why I say that. Because all it does is it has people get up, put on t-shirts. This ain't no Black Lives Matter. That's Pablo Escobar, businessman. Anyway, that's another conversation. But they put on these t-shirts. They take out to the streets. They get megaphones. And they go and they have rallies, walk in the streets. And then they say, yeah, we ain't going to stand for it no more. We want this person's job. What does that do for us? What does that do for you and your cause? If you have one. All you doing is just basically making noise. Making noise, which means if you make noise, you want to get attention. You get attention, but you have nothing to substantiate why you are saying this. And people try to say, well, they did that back with Martin Luther King days. Civil rights movement was always Always. And you talking simple, you talking about the SCLC, Martin Luther King and them, and all of those guys. They all had lawyers behind them. They had smart people telling them, hey, so yeah, we're going to do this protest, we're going to do this sit-in, but here's what we're asking for based on the law. They had that little thing right there, aha. So when the news cameras did turn on them and say, hey, why are you guys sitting here in this such and such place on this white only spot and you trying to get your kids to go to this school, go to that school? They said, hey, because we want the law changed. And now that we got the law changed, we want y'all to abide by it. Made sense. Absolutely sense. Absolutely. Let's walk from Selma to Georgia. Let's walk from New York to California. Let's do that. But do it with some type of real purpose to where you can make a change. And I tell people this all the time. You want to stop police from just shooting people and saying that, hey, I was scared, saying I thought they was going to do something to me, then you need to have the law change to where they're no longer allowed to say, I was scared, which I was in fear of my life. Because if you're in fear of your life, and I will always say this, you can't be the police and be scared. And if you're in fear of your life, then you need to be in a situation where you can retreat. Plain and simple. Because when we do have those bad shoots, it's because of that. Like the dude who got shot with his hands up, walking back to the SUV, and the lady shot him. Plain and simple. Bang. She was scared. Got off. Because that's part of the law. Get that law changed and say, well, you shoot somebody and you say that you were scared and that person ain't got no gun. Well, partner, you can get ready for this litigation and possibly losing your job and your freedom. Because that's what's going to make people think. That's what's going to make people say, you know what, I think this guy might have a gun. And I ain't going to just, I'm going to stay behind this truck and really try to look and see before I let loose. Whereas now, it's like, man, you think somebody got you, put them down. That's the law. So if you want to change something, you want to get something to start, change the law. That's where things are done. Laws and policies. When you got laws and policies, now you can absolutely hold people accountable. You ain't got to take to the streets. All you got to do is go and file court paperwork. You don't have to go and march and be on TV with your crying, with your hair, with your purple hair weave and say, oh Lord, we don't know why they killed Tyrone. Tyrone was selling drugs. That's why they killed him. Tyrone was the dope boy. Y'all knew that. He was just trying to take care of his family. Yes, by selling illegal substances. It's not right. You can't do it. So at the end of the day, those are the things that you have to really take a hold of and say, these are the things that we need to change. And once we get this part changed to where you can't do this anymore, now we can hold people accountable to it by taking them to court. And when you look at it, that's what happens right now today. You break the law, what happens? The police come get you, and then the prosecutors prosecute you. That's what they do. And then the judge says, hey, based on the evidence we received, based on the fact that this is the law and you broke it, here you go. That's what happens. So it's just that simple. Let's see what else y'all got to say in here. Nothing that we do as a people is calculated. It's all about screaming and hollering. Yep, getting that attention. Oh, and acting a fool when we get a chance. Man, I'm telling you, easy. That's what it is, man. That's exactly what it is. I think people act a fool in any race. You're right. You're right, Michelle. People do. They do. They absolutely do. But the problem is that we don't have a strong enough base to where we are the ones that are the people that do make sense are outnumbered in our community, in our race. They are. There is no, when you talk about show me black town, you go to most major cities, you can see Korean town, Chinatown, you can see Greek town, you can see white town, you can see Mexican town, you can see all these other towns where the people that are in these communities, you can see them. And yes, they do have crime. Yes, they do have their share. But it's only in our community where it's just black folks, the wild ones, are in power. They are the majority. When you go into the hood, which is where most black people live, when you go into the hood, who there? Ratchetness is ruling the streets. Young thugs running the blocks. That's what's there. There aren't good, upstanding people living in those communities that are the ones that are leading their communities. They are not the ones that are in power. Those are the ones that are living there in fear. And the only reason why they ain't moved is because they can't move. So that's what you have to realize, why when we say these type of things, why it is so important for us to acknowledge it and say, well, you know what? That's the thing that we need to begin to change. We need to start changing and getting some type of strong community in our own hood that ain't ran by the dope boys and the ratchet welfare queens with they 9 or 10 kids running the streets, ain't being taken care of, like they just did the video about the baby being in the street, like Chris just did the baby in the street. That happens in the hood. That don't happen in the affluent areas of America. It don't. Say what you want to say. Give me that bomb beat from Dre and let me serenade the streets of LA from Oakland to Chi-Town to Bay Area and back down. Cali's about to get the Mac down. Give me love. But what I'm telling you is that don't happen in those neighborhoods because they are stable, and those neighborhoods are, the majority of them, the greater majority of them are being inhabited by people who are responsible, logical, have jobs, they work for everything, they take care of their lawns, they take care of their homes, they value what it is that they have because it wasn't handed to them, it wasn't given to them. And people talk about, well, our people ain't got no jobs, our people ain't got no way to make none of themselves. Then that's where you need to focus your efforts at and say, we need to start doing things that are going to be beneficial to us and make us do what we're supposed to do so we can have our own footholds, our own communities that are thriving, not where we in neighborhoods just surviving. And that's how it is for most of us in our neighborhoods. When you talking about predominantly black neighborhoods, they not thriving. You're right. They're surviving. They barely trying to make it. They can't go to school because they got gangbangers messing with them. They can't be smart in class because they got people making fun of them. The black nerd should be the most aspiring person to be in the neighborhood, but it's not. It's the dude that can wear his pants down the lowest and carry the most guns and shoot at the most people and do the wildest shit because that's who all the girls like, you know? I want to date Jamar Quavius because Jamar Quavius don't play. He be snapping on these people. He be up in the Arab stores telling them what time it is, and he'll pull a gun out and steal on somebody in a second. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Chris, the video about the chick smoking the blunt. It's like those are the things that we got going on in our community. And I'm not going to be foolish enough to say it don't happen nowhere else in the world. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. Could there be some white person that's doing it with their baby? Yes. Is there some white mother somewhere blowing meth smoke into her baby's face? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. However, what I'm also going to say is that the amount of people that do those type of things, like it or not, it happens in our neighborhood. And when it does happen, all the media does is perpetuate it. They keep putting it out there. That's why we see it all the time. Why is that? Maybe if we stopped doing it, then it wouldn't happen as much. Maybe if we stopped creating this material, then it wouldn't be put out there as often. But we keep perpetuating it because we think it's funny. We think it's cool. We think it's live. We think that ratchetness is righteousness. And that's crazy. I like that. I need to get a shirt to say that. Don't think that ratchetness is righteousness, because it's not. But it is what it is. So I'm going to say this and wrap it up. We've been going for just about an hour, which is good. It's where I want it to be. I just want to say thank you all for the time. Thank you for coming through. I appreciate everything that you guys have been doing. Any and everybody that has supported me and just Soto Nation. I want to give a special shout out to my boy Tommy Sotomayor. Hey, my man, I'm thinking about you, brother. Hope all is well with you, man. Prayers up. Love you, man. Everybody else, my man DJ Just J, want to send a shout out to him. I want to send a shout out to Shouty King at Soto Gaming World. What's up, brother? I want to also give a shout out to Packer Girl And who else? Oh, the Soto, the Morning Soto, whatever that does come back. I definitely want to give a shout out to my girl Tanisha. Hope to see you guys soon. Thank you all. Please share this, send it out. Click that like. Let me see how many likes I got. I'm gonna choke me somebody if I ain't got at least. It's about at least 10 or 12 of us in here. I need to have at least about 10 or 12 likes in here now. Make sure of that. I ain't gonna be taking no nonsense now. Yeah. 17 watching, then I better have me a good 17 likes or 16 likes or something. Make sure y'all like it. All right, 21 likes. That's what I'm talking about. I can roll with it. But thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. I will look forward to doing the next show. And I hope that you guys tune in next time. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me do this. Mind my manners. Make sure ain't no... see, I almost missed it. I want to give a shout out to Michelle Glass. Thank you so much, MG, for your donation. Appreciate it. My man, Chris Thorns. Thank you, sir, for your donation. Y'all be sure to check out Chris Thorns' channel if you haven't already. That's my man. He does a lot of commentary on news articles, stuff that's happening today. Him and my boy DJ Just J. I like what y'all doing. Keep doing what y'all doing, man. As always, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. This is the United Guns of America Gun Channel. I am Brian Redman. Peace, and I'm out. Thank you guys. Awesome show.